Welcome back. I hope you're all well. So since in my most recent videos, I feel like I was kind of negative and I talked about things that you shouldn't buy and things that aren't worth the money, I thought today I would sit down and I would talk about designer items that were worth the money for me, that I really enjoy and don't regret buying. And on a positive note, they also hold their resale value pretty good. So most of the items that I'm going to be talking about today, so just keep that in mind, are resellable. So you could resell them if you ever wanted to, and you would probably get most of your money back, at least some of it, okay? But mainly I want to talk about these items because I love them, because I use them a lot, and I really enjoy them, and I like having them in my collection. So as always, I want to recommend them to you guys. And I think I've done a similar video to this talking about bags. I will leave that link down below. In this video, I'm also going to be talking about bags, but I'm mainly going to just be talking about luxury items overall that I own, that I really enjoy having in my collection, and that I think were worth the money and not a waste. If you're new here, my name is Angelique. I make new videos twice a week about luxury and fashion, or yeah, that's what I do. And if you like this video, then I also think you will like my other videos. So hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on any future videos. First, I want to talk about custom jewelry. And I just have to say that I think custom jewelry is a great way to get your toes wet, dip your toes into water. What's the saying? I don't know. We don't know. We're German. We don't know. But anyways, just to kind of get into the luxury world if you've never purchased any designer items before, because yeah, I really think you can't go wrong if you buy something timeless and classic. But then also maybe you already own a bunch of luxury items, but there's a specific brand that you don't own anything from, like Hermes or Fendi or something like that, you know? Maybe starting with something small like custom jewelry, I think is just a great idea. And I personally own this Hermes click bracelet, so I wanted to use this as an example. I absolutely love this piece. It's classic, it's timeless, it comes in lots of different colors, it comes in different sizes. This guy never ever leaves my wrist. I'm lying, I do take it off when I get a spray tan, but other than that, it always stays on my wrist. It still looks pretty good, although it's a little bit beat up, just a little bit, because I never take it off. But anyways, it's just such a great piece, and I don't regret, well, I really didn't buy this. I got this as a gift, but even if I would have purchased this myself, I definitely would have gotten my money's worth out of it, just because I wear it all the time and it goes with everything and it just makes me feel good and I really enjoy it. So for me, this was money well spent, even though I didn't buy it, if that makes sense. And then also I own a couple of Dior earrings. I do have 3 pairs now. One pair I'm currently wearing, which these are a bit more trendy, but I still love them. I get so many compliments on them. Every time I wear them, someone gives me a compliment, which, you know, makes me feel good. And then the other 2 pairs that I have are very timeless and classic, and I love having them in my collection because I just get them out when I want to feel fancy, or I want to feel, you know, I don't know, if I just want to feel special. I think they're amazing. And I really, really am glad that I purchased them when I did. Number 2, of course, I had to talk about my Chanel boy bag. Now, I'm not a huge, like, obviously I love Chanel, but I'm not like a huge Chanel bag person. I work very hard for my money, and although I do spend it a little silly sometimes, I do have a hard time spending like that much money on a bag. And you know, Chanel is really expensive. However, my boy bag, I do like the idea that, you know, if I ever did get an itch to resell it, I definitely could, and I would get most of my money back. So that makes me feel a bit better about it, but also I enjoy using it. It's an amazing bag. I think somebody just recently asked me, I think in the comment section, but the wear on it is beautiful. I mean, haven't had it for like years and years, but in the year that I have had it, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it's still absolutely amazing. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a beautiful bag, and I didn't feel bad after I purchased it. Like, there was no regret or anything. I just felt really good about it because it's a classic piece and because it's a timeless piece. So if you want to go for a bag from a brand that you've never purchased before, or maybe let's say you're buying your first bag, again, going for something timeless and classic, I don't think you really can go wrong. Okay, let's talk about shoes. And before you come and choke me, I know that 95% of the times when you buy designer shoes, they will immediately depreciate in value. And you know, that's just what happens when you buy designer shoes. However, as most of you know, I love designer shoes. I have a lot of them, probably too many, and I just really enjoy purchasing them. However, there are a few pairs of designer shoes that even if you wear them, you can resell them and you can get some of your money back, but also they're amazing. They are, again, timeless and classic. So let's talk about brands like Christian Louis Vuitton. Of course, those type of shoes, if you buy like the classic, the black or the nude P-gals, I think is what they're called. I, for instance, had a pair and I never wore them because they were super uncomfortable. So I went ahead and sold them and I got almost every penny back. So that was pretty good. And I did wear them once or twice, so they did have a little bit of wear on them. Anyways, long story short, my point is there are a few shoes that you can purchase that you could resell and get some of your money back. Not all of it, of course, because they're shoes, but some of it. And I personally really love, oh, my cat's going crazy, Manolo Blahniks. I think they're amazing. They're very comfortable. They have so many classic and just fantastic pieces depending on what your style is, and they resell very, very good. So yeah, that is that for shoes. Moving on to number 4. Okay, so for number 4, I feel like some people might disagree with me on that, but that's okay. You know, this is just my opinion. I want to talk about designer sunglasses. Now, I do know that there isn't, like 90% of the time, there isn't a huge difference between, let's say, a pair of Ray-Bans and a pair of Chanel sunglasses quality-wise. However, if you do like buying designer items, but you want to buy things that you get a lot of use out of and that are just worth it for you, I think sunglasses are a great item to purchase, depending on, again, what you buy. So, for instance, and I've said this before, I'm not like a huge sunglass person, so I don't have like an endless amount of sunglasses, but the few that I do have, I really enjoy and I wear all the time. So, for instance, my Celine glasses, even though they were pretty trendy when I bought them, I still wear them to death, and that's definitely an item that I would say my money was well spent on. I don't regret a penny that I spent on those sunglasses. They are amazing. I love the way they look on my face. I love how they look with my outfits. Like, they just elevate any outfit and they're amazing. And yeah, I don't regret them. Now, I have purchased a pair of sunglasses that I didn't really like after I bought them, and they were Chanel sunglasses, and I think I spent about $500 on them. And I really loved them in store, but once I got home, they just sat weird on my face, and I think it was like my fault. My nose is just weird or something. So anyways, they didn't look good on me, and I ended up selling them. But here comes the kicker, you guys. I got every penny back reselling them, except for tax, of course, and I felt really good about that, which then made me feel a lot better about buying designer sunglasses. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Okay, and lastly, I wanted to talk about designer clothing pieces. And at first, there were a few other things I wanted to talk about, such as I have a couple of designer clothing pieces that aren't like well-known designers, so they're not brands like Gucci or Fendi or anything like that, but they're still right up there with the price. And I think pieces like that are amazing because they're timeless, right? And they're classic, and not everyone has them. But I figured let's just talk about a brand that most of you probably know and most of you like. So let's talk about Burberry. I do have a scarf from Burberry, and even though that seems kind of crazy, that was another gift. I got that for Christmas. And I mean, it's a pretty penny for a scarf. However, again, timeless, classic, that will stay in my collection for the rest of my life. It's amazing quality. It goes so good with so many of my outfits. So if you want to go for clothes, I think that you can't go wrong with something like a Burberry scarf, a Burberry trench coat. Yeah, just things that are very classic and that resell really well. The scarf does, and that you just can get a lot of wear out of, such as a scarf. Like, come on, if you live somewhere where it's cold, who doesn't wear their scarf? I wear mine all the time. And yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you found this a bit entertaining and fun. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Thank you guys, as always, so incredibly much for watching.